Welcome back to another Street Ride video. This is your boy Rick. And before we get started, a little housekeeping. Thank you everyone that's been with me since the beginning of my YouTube channel journey. I'm very thankful for all the support from all my consistent viewers. And I want to welcome all my new viewers to the channel as well. I don't know everything and I'm learning with each video. So if you're still going to stay after that, pull up a chair, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe with the notification bell. Okay, let's get into the video. It's been roughly 9 months since I started this journey with you and Blue, my 2018 Audi S5 Sportback. After 27 videos, I figured I should do a video on what all Blue has installed and what does the future hold for Street Ride and Blue. Even though I have a website dedicated to this, I still get asked what's installed. So hell, why not just do an update video as a cheat sheet to my website? Remember, this video will get outdated, but the site won't. Either way, here we go. First, let's talk about exterior. As of the date of this video, Blue the S5 is equipped with an RS style front bumper, carbon fiber side mirror covers, and a carbon fiber rear deck spoiler. All these parts are from German Car Accessories. I have other parts on order, but they're not here yet. Can you guess what company is taking forever to ship me the exterior parts? Guess in the comments section. Now, let's talk brakes. Blue has 034Motorsport's 2-piece floating rotors, front and rear, with R1 Concept brake pads all the way around. These aren't the pads I upgraded first on Blue. If you know what pads I used first, say it in the comments. Now let's talk tires. Blue right now is equipped with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on the rear, and on the front I have Michelin Pilot All Season 4s. How I got this set up, ask me in the comments and I'll explain. We're running the stock size of 255, 35, 19 on the tires. Soon I'll be getting some different 19 forged wheels and I'll have a little bit wider tire on that, and then I'll be doing some 18-inch wheels that'll be even wider. Okay, so let's talk suspension. Blue has lowering springs, rear diff mount inserts, rear subframe mount inserts, transmission mount inserts, and front strut brace, all from 034Motorsport. Now for the meat and potatoes, engine mods. For the intake system, Blue has CTS Turbo high velocity intake paired with their turbo inlet. For an intercooler, Blue has the Rev 9 black front mount intercooler. We replaced the stock cat and installed CTS high flow catted downpipe. This is not to be confused with the catless downpipe CTS carries as well. Made into the downpipe is VPS pre-muffler delete system. All of these mods are managed by 034Motorsport's ECU and TCU team. Occasionally, Blue will be riding around on a diet. This is not often, but occasionally. You never know. I normally only do it if I'm trying to go for a record time. And then sometimes I get lazy and I don't feel like putting the interior back in, and then I'll just throw it in one day. It doesn't take long to do it, so I do it. So a lot of people find weight reduction controversial, but here's Blue's diet. We remove all season floor mats, front passenger seat, rear passenger seats, the rear hatch divider, the rear hatch floor, the spare tire, and the jack and tools. All of this adds up to roughly 190 pounds weight saved. So this is where Blue is so far. If this is what you came for, you're welcome. If you are here for the 034 R1 brake rotor combo setup review, then continue watching. Hell, even if you aren't here for that, I would appreciate it if you continue watching. It helps with my hours watched on the algorithm.
All right, let's get to it. The last brake setup I had before this current one was just EBC front brake pads on my stock rotors. And I don't think that would be fair to compare the stopping power of my current setup to the stopping power of my past setup, considering this, all things aren't equal. Right now, okay, I'm equipped with 034 2-piece floating rotors with R1 Concept Ceraminc pads. First thing to talk about is the look. They look fantastic. They're a little different from your normal cross-drill slot rotors. I think that's good. I like that. It's a little different. They look great. They're 2-piece, so you can change out just the friction part and replace them for a little bit cheaper than trying to buy like the whole rotor set again. The R1 pads, especially the Concept Ceraminc pads, brake dust is very minimal. Noise is very minimal. If y'all knew me from before, that was my problem with EBC yellow stuff. They made a lot of noise. But remember, EBC's yellow stuff is supposed to make a lot of noise. because they're true performance brake pads. That is their main design. And when you have brake pads that are designed for the track, they tend to make noise, especially when they're high friction pads and whatnot. So the R1 ceramic, that's not to say that they are not made for the track per se, just maybe not as aggressive as the EBC yellow stuff. But with the rotors and the pads, you get better stopping power than what I had on just the front. Remember, this is just the front on the old setup on the EBC yellow stuff. So it's not fair. I'm sure with EBC yellow stuff pads all the way around, I would have been able to stop better, but I would have destroyed my stock rotors. That was definitely a thing happening. So recommend, if you're gonna go EBC yellow stuff, change your rotors out. Your stock rotors are not gonna be able to handle it. You might be able to stop well for a few months, but after a while, those rotors really start to tell on you. Then you'll start running into some issues with those stock rotors. Now, brake dust, like I said before, very minimal, and it's crazy because the stock brake pads were the worst with brake dust, and EBC yellow stuff was pretty much just as bad. That's why I had to get out of them. Really, it just was the brake dust and the noise for just driving around. It just sounded like everywhere I went, I was stopping a freight train. I tried several different ways to get the yellow stuff pads to work better. It just never happened. So, change pads. I'm completely happy with this setup. It's a little bit expensive because of the rotors, but the pads are a really good deal. But the rotors are actually worth it. It saved me about 4 times, slamming on the brakes, stopping on a dime. It felt great. Now, the way the pads and the rotors work together is you get a very good initial bite. That initial bite is really good, and then you feel the stopping power increase, almost like multiplying, as you push into the brake further. So it's not one of those ones where you get the initial bite and you're still rolling and you're kind of like, oh my God, let me stop. It's like the initial bite and then it just starts really pulling back. It's how it feels. You can still feel the brake pressure increase as you're pushing through the pedal. And to me, that's really great. It feels wonderful. I don't really have any complaints about the current setup. I haven't taken it to the track yet to see how it holds up over long braking periods and over a lot of heat. But from what I can tell so far, 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. Now, some people were worried about rust with the rotors. What I can tell you is I've washed this car several times. It's been in snow, it's been in the rain, not as much, but it's definitely been washed. And it sat in the garage, sat outside. And I haven't had any significant rust, especially the rust ring you get from where there is no contact between the pad and the rotor. Now, that might be because the R1 Concept pads are maybe a little bit bigger, but I'm not running into any rust issues around the base of the rotor either. So you can tell from these shots that I showed you earlier that there really isn't any rust to be seen. Now, there was also an issue with color changing on the rotors. I think going to a gold tint. That's happened a couple times. I think the color has definitely fixed itself, I guess you could say, or the heat has done its thing to even out the color of the rotors. But again, they still look beautiful. I don't have any issues with them. So I do recommend this setup, especially the rotors. I really do recommend the R1 Concept pads. I think I'll be trying out some other pads that they have when these are over, just to see how they compare. But the ceramics, if you don't like brake dust, but you like a little bit more performance braking that you can take to the track, you don't really care for the brake noise, I really recommend that you go with the R1 Concept pads. If you need all the stopping power you can get, the yellow stuff, they don't disappoint. The stopping power is definitely there. Like I said before, it's just brake noise and brake dust that I didn't like, so I changed the whole setup out. I had been planning to get rotors with the yellow stuff, but I said let me try out the R1 Concepts, and I did not get disappointed. So I don't know what vehicle you might be driving, but you definitely get these pads. And if you can get parts from 034, I would recommend getting their rotors. I'll try and see if I can do something up on something a little less expensive than what 034 offers. But remember, you always pay for what you get. There's 2 things I don't like to play with, and that's my wheels and my brakes. The thing that touches the ground and the thing that stops me. So you want to go cheap on those things or inexpensive, that's great. Just remember, you pay for what you get. And my life is a little bit more important than trying to save a lot of money on rotors. That's not to say you need super expensive rotors. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is be careful out there what you buy to save $1. All right. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Shouldn't have been too long. I'm actually going to be leaving the state for a little bit. Y'all be safe. And we got more content coming. I'm just waiting. Always waiting on this shipping stuff. It's crazy. All right. Peace.